Hello my crafty friends, this is Michelle, the Southern Shell, and I am here to share with you another Christmas ornament idea that I'm going to be bringing to my craft fair this year. I took several of these, I made 8 of these last year and sold out, so I'm going to make I'm going to make a few more than that, but not a whole lot because I have a lot of different ornaments. But I want to show you the difference in these. These are just your wood discs. Now, I bought these on Amazon quite some time ago, but if you have some branches in your yard and a good saw that you can cut these and give them a good sand, then, you know, that will work as well. It's easier for me that I've had these and I'm going to go ahead and use what I have on hand. So I made this one in natural. I just left the wood as it is. And I left this one is in white right here. So we've got the white, and then we have the whitewash, which is here. And what I've done to get these looks is I've used my Waverly. The wax white is what I used to get this whitewash, and I just put it on and wiped it off with a washcloth. Super easy to do. Let me show you a little bit on the back of one of these. I wanted to make sure that they were dry so I could get started. So I'm just going to take, I mean, you can see the difference, but it's not a whole lot. So I just take an old rag, dip it into the lid, and then you just kind of wipe it on and blend it in. And then once that top layer gets dry, you're going to do it again. And then let it dry a little bit and then buff it on out. But that gives you just enough distinction between the raw wood and the whitewash. And so I really do like the way those turned out. So the white one, I used my Waverly chalk paint, and I used the color plaster. So it's not white, but it is white enough where you know it's a snowman, so it's not as bright, it's toned down. This is more of my homespun type Christmas decorations that I do. So I wanted to share that. Now, of course, the noses, I've done the stir sticks, and I've painted the ends, and then I've cut them off, sanded them down real well, and then those become the noses on the front of those snowmen. And once I decide where that nose is going, that's when I decide about the eyes and the mouth. So let's get one started here. So what are you going to need? You are going to need your wood slices. The big one on these are running right at like 2 1/4, 2 1/2. The middle size is right at 2, and then the little ones are like at 1 1/2. So I usually got an assortment, and then I went through and kind of paired them up depending on sizes, and that way I had just a stack of them like I showed you, just stacked up, where I've measured and then put them down in little stacks of 3. So I would just grab one stack, work on one, and then do the next one. So I have my large, my medium, and my small. My hole at the top is going to be for my burlap holder, my burlap tie for the tree. I have a hot glue gun going with wood glue in it. Now, if you're going to do wood products and you still want to use hot glue, you can. And this is Surebonder wood stick, and it's a full size. It's the only one I could find, and you know, I have several hot glue guns. So I have one here that's a high temp hot glue gun for the large glue sticks. Not the best for detail, but it does its job. The other thing you're going to need, of course, the stir sticks is what I've made the noses out of. And I've got these stir sticks. You can get them like at craft stores, and they're in the little containers with several little bags with several of them in here. These are like 3.5 inches. I took some acrylic paint and a makeup sponge, and I went ahead and just painted over the tops of these sticks. Let them dry, and then they're like this, so it doesn't matter. I was able to hold on to them, just give a good paint. And then each of these little noses are going to be cut to right about, I think it was just 1.5 inches. Yeah, right at about 1.5 inches. And so I'm going to come in and go ahead and just cut a few of these noses. Just like that. And there I have a couple noses. After the nose is cut, I want to make it filed down just a little bit so it looks a little cleaner. And so I'm just going to come in with this little sandpaper block. And I'm just going to give it a little bit around the edges so that when I put this on the snowman, it's not going to look rough. It's going to be all smooth, and it's not going to have any rough areas, and it's going to look more finished. Okay. The next thing I did is I did have some felt, and I took one of the smaller pieces, like the head piece, and that's what I used for a template, just to cut out a quick little circle. These are going to cover the back here where the sticks are going to be put on, just so it gives it a finished look. I have my arms, I have my nose, and I have my snowman. Now the noses aren't quite finished because of where we sanded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get burnt orange alcohol marker here. It doesn't have to be burnt orange. You use what you want. And all this is going to do is it's going to give me just some different striations in the color and make sure that I don't have any white showing. I want to kind of make sure that maybe the edges are a little darker. So I can come in and just kind of run it down that edge. You don't have to do the whole thing. You can do parts of it. Just give it a little bit more definition for your carrot nose. And you see they're not all done. That way I can kind of like just kind of go in and it has some definition to that nose. So for the arms, for your snowman arms, what I like to do is once I get my pieces glued together, I will come in and see just where I want those arms placed and just how big that arm needs to be for that particular snowman. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go right around on the back where that hole is. And that's going to come down here on the bottom. And I'm just going to hold it into place well enough for that glue to grip and hold on. I'm going to put a little bit around the edge right here. As you see, there's some bark right there on that one. I'm just going to come around and just do a bead right there. It's still clean. So there's those two pieces. And then this one is the top, so it's my head. And so I'm going to put some down on the bottom. Flip that back over. And I want to make sure that my hole to hang my snowman is at the top. And I put that little piece of my snowman where I think it needs to look best, whether it's up further, down further, whatever needs to be for those particular discs. I will flip this over and I will add that little ring across right there. Give it a little bit more support. That is a very hot glue gun and it will hurt. I've gotten that actually under my nails before, and woo honey, you want to kind of stop what you're doing, obviously, and I dipped it in ice water to hopefully get it cool enough where I can like breathe. So arms and nose. Now for these, I went ahead and I put the noses on first so that I kind of just give it, and you can put it up. I think I'm going to do this one up. All I'm going to do for this is I'm going to put hot glue on the back, like the bottom half of it. We'll flip it over and put it right where I want it to be. Now, what I have done, because I know I put the glue on, I want it to spread out, but I don't want it to be seen. So I'm going to take this little tiny screwdriver and I'm just going to come right on in and just go under that. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to get it off of the side of that nose. And then that way, the nose is on there securely and there's no hot glue evidence to be seen. So when you're doing your different faces, it's going to be important on how you position your eyes. Now I've done the nose up on this one, so the eyes are going to be a little more happy. And I can even just draw them on and just make little closed eyes. I might end up doing that with these. Now these are Spectrum Noir, and then these are Firefly. They're both alcohol markers and they're very good. You can see how I was testing my little mouths for the other ones. So if I want to maybe do little closed eyes, I may just do like little ones like this, and I can then take one of my other noses and kind of put it up at that little angle like I have it here, and then draw, and that's what my little face would look like. And I might just end up doing that. I think that would be just fine. So let's go ahead and do a little face here, a little smile, and I'm going to do both sides about the same. There's that. And then so for here, I'm just going to go ahead and put kind of close to the nose. And so there is my little snowman face for there. Now I can easily put eyes on like I did here, but if I want to get that closed eye look, you want to make sure that you have a thin enough marker to do that with. I think I want to put some little Now, if you don't like that, which I'm not really tickled, you can always put something over it. You can repaint it, but it is what it is, and I'm just going to go with it. The next thing I want to do is, do I want to put buttons on here? Do I want to put gems on here? How do I want this to work? So let's get out. I have some black beads and stuff that I've used on those, so let's get it out and see what we've got to work with. So I was out of my black one, so I'm going to go ahead and take some of these, I think these are from Recollections. I'm going to do these little ones from Walmart. I'm going to go ahead and do those. And I'm going to take my black alcohol marker, and on these little ones, I'm going to go ahead and just cover all the way around with this marker and let it dry. So use what you have. If you don't have the colors that you need, but you have like a base cream or white, and you have markers, Sharpie markers, anything like that that you can cover it up with, do that. Just make sure they're dry before you start using them. Okay, so there's 3 for the buttons there. Let's just go ahead and give that a little bit. Alcohol markers do not take long to dry. You can see to the touch. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some right in this little hole, because I want that one bead to cover up that hole. So I'm going to grab that bead and I'm going to put it right over that hot glue. And it's an adhesive backed pearl, And so that bead is going to grab on, but the hot glue is going to help hold it into place a little bit better. And so now I want to kind of see, do I want the buttons a little closer together? Do I want them a little further apart? I think that might be, because I have the scarf I'm going to put on too. I think that'll be just fine. So lift that up, put a dab of glue. Now it's a bigger nozzle, so it is harder for me to deal with. I really like my precision tips, but if I'm using the wood glue, it's just not there. And let's do the last one. So there's those. And let me get, I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of twine in there real quick. Dollar Tree. Came in a pack of 3. I'm just going to go ahead, I want them all to be about the same size. So let's see here. So this is going to be right about, so it's 4.5, so right about 9 inches. About 9 inches of twine for one ornament. Tie a little knot in the end and pull it on up nice and tight. Now I went ahead and I don't care what if it's rough on one side or the other, because like I said, this is a homespun ornament. So I'm just going to stick that twine through the back, bring it on up, open the back side where that knot is, and I'm going to pull it on through. And that gives me a nice little hanger right at the top of that little snow person. So I've got my piece of cotton fabric, and I have been cutting and tearing this, and it gives a nice vintage rough look. And I cut it it's right about a 1/2 inch, just give it a nice little slit, and pull it with the grain of the material. And then it's just going to come right on around, and it's going to tie a little knot to one side of the snowman head. And then you just take a little dab of glue right underneath there, little dab of do-ya. And then this scarf will now stay attached and hang down on this little snowman. So now the arms. Okay, so if I take, these are pretty dry, so I can probably just break that off. And let's kind of measure about the same. I don't want that to be, I just want it to be nice and clean. And so I have 2 pieces of twigs for the arms. And if one is a little longer than the other, that's usually the first one I put on. And I'll lay it down, and I'll kind of twist to see just how I want it to go. Do I want it to go up, down? Do I want that little peak to go up? I think I like it down better. So then I pull it over, and I know that I'm going to need hot glue, wood glue, once again, right up the side of that. And then I can take my stick, place it right on in there. I think I wanted that kind of facing down. I believe I did. And let's just make sure it's right in that glue before it cools down. And then I'm going to take the other arm, and now you can do it up as well. You can do it down, you can do it across. With the scarf there, I'm going to go ahead and put it right on like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my finger where I need it to start. I know that glue is going to come right on up. And my little other arm is going to sit right on in that glue and cool. And so there I have another snowman ready to be backed. I don't like the way the wood, the sticks look, the twigs look. It just looks unfinished. And I know that it's not much, but a piece of felt I think helps. So what I do with this is I put glue on the top of the felt, and then I put glue on the bottom of the twigs. And then that's going to come on in, press on down, right on down under. Let me get that little scarf on up and over. And that is down over those twigs, and it will help hold them securely into place. Now, I like this, and I like the way it looks a little more feminine. It looks a little more fun. So what I think I'm going to do is put a little bit of something on the head. So let's see if we have like a little snowflake that might fit there nicely. How about a piece of table scatter snowflake? I think that'll be just fine. Oh, I need to add another stick in there. All right, let's do a little. That's a lot. I got it covered. So that's how you do the little wooden discs snowmen, and they do great on the tree. I sell these for $4. I've made bigger ones and I've sold those for more, but the little ones go for $4. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and taking time out of your day with me to watch me make ornaments, some of the things that I just love to do. So if you've not already subscribed to my channel, I do hope you will consider doing so now by hitting that subscribe button. If you want to know when I'm uploading a new video, hit that bell notification, and YouTube should notify you when I'm uploading a new video. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. It always helps. As always, guys, stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.